Yo, what's up, guys? It's Mr. Sen, the hottest Valorant e-boy around. Professional gamer over here. And today we're gonna finally get back into the groove of things. And we're gonna talk about Nick Rekieta. Rekieta Law, epic downfall, probably the biggest fall off ever, just because he averaged out hundreds and thousands of people watching him to now a measly 1,000, or it's not so measly, but you get what I'm saying in comparison to Nick's high points. And even the whether or not the legitimacy of whether those people are real or not is in question currently. But recently, it's been a whole lot of stuff happening with Rekieta, and I just can't avoid it anymore. I just cannot. It's gotten really bad to a point where, well, let's see what's going on. Now, this is one of Rekieta's remaining Baldo guards that was around. His name is Grifty. He went ahead and he pointed out how everybody was very, very petty. All right. So, what is this exactly? This is the community notes that was posted on Nick Rekieta's tweet. All right. So, let me tell you what a community note is. Some of you guys probably already know, some of you don't because you refuse to go on X. But let me break it down. A short TLDR is a community post is essentially a feature that Elon decided to make in which it helps identify fake news from real news. And it allows the community to insert their opinions or quote unquote facts by inserting certain reputable, sometimes questionable news sources to essentially back up their claim. Thus, the community post notes suggesting context. Again, this was Elon's idea to battle fake news and deliver full authenticity and facts. The only problem with this, there's a couple things to note. People that rely on community notes soon started having an issue with it, particularly Republicans and conservatives that were against Lolicon, such as Brittany Venti. The reason for that is because since we've established to many people that community notes is the de facto, that means that you can't question it, right? Well, the only problem with this is that Republicans like Venti, conservatives that are anti-Lolly, well, they started getting hit with community posts saying that Lolly was okay and that weren't against their narrative and what they were trying to push. So again, it's one of those things where community notes is flawed, you know, unless you think Lolly is okay, in which case then I guess it's not flawed. So again, what I'm trying to say here, whatever side of the aisle it is, right? It's not the most reliable because there are going to be people that disagree with this statement. Therefore, is it absolute fact? No, it is not. All right. A community note being posted is just a collection of opinions that favor a specific position. All right. So again, community posts, community posts, That's great. Community posts are not the end all be all, sadly. All right. Maybe for tribalism, maybe for this. Okay. But, because everybody hates Nick Rekieta, so we got to just, we can skew the lines of what is real and what is false at this point. So we got Rekieta Law saying, just learned someone close to me passed away tonight. I've been feeling like garbage. I'm still planning on the Karen Reed thing. So kind of just like sympathy baiting online. Let me make this one thing clear. I do not really care if you guys want to lie about Nick Rekieta. Mostly because Nick Rekieta has lied about literally everybody in his life. To the point of defamatory claims, okay? It is what it is. He's actually being sued for the defamatory claims right now by Montegraph. This is a guy who did this for years, and LawTube was okay with his weird antics, all right? His over-the-top, not only just LawTube, Josh Moon was okay with this, Kiwi Farms was okay with this, LawTube was, and again, I know this isn't going to do me any favors for the tribes, all right, the tribalism and the promotion. It's okay. I'm not here for the tribalism or the promotion or being network buddies with any of these people. I already saw it worked out with Nick when you guys were network buddies. I'd rather not. I already saw how it worked out with Nick when you guys were Kiwi buddies. I'd rather not. I am here with myself and my fans, and we're here to point out the facts. That's all it's ever going to be, okay? Again, is what it is. Seni Squad for life. But what we got here, right, is we got Nick Rekieta who got away with all this lying, all this bitching, all this fucking outrageous over the top shit. And LawTube just didn't give a shit about it. There's numerous clips, the infamous one where Rekieta was saying defamatory things about Monograph, and Legal Mindset was just snickering there, laughing in the background, not even saying, hey, Nick, this, the high and mighty morality claims of Nick, this is unbecoming of a lawyer. How dare you do this? Everybody didn't care. Yellow Flash didn't care. I don't know if Potentially Criminal ever gave a shit about any of the over-the-top fucking stupid shit Nick was saying. The point is, everybody had an investment in Rekieta Law at his prime to continue to get away with all this nonsense. Now it seems like since he fell off and there's no way to actually make a dime off of Nick other than if you're shitting on him, everybody is not letting him get away with anything. Even on his little bait post where he's trying to gather sympathy, whether or not it's real, that's up for you to decide. It could very well be the case, right? But, again, people are at this point, they just don't want to let Nick get away with anything. Again, now that he had the fall, now that there's nothing to gain from being pro with Nick. And you guys could try to deny this all you want. At the ending of the day, as a retarded bear used to say, that's the facts. I know, I'm sorry that the facts make you look like shit, but that's literally what it is. All right, try to tell me another thing, that another reason that you guys let all of this weird behavior of Rekieta that was present this entire time go. But now that we've established the community posts, the wrong with the community post, the flawed ideology of the community post, as well as the people criticizing him, let's go more into the nitty gritty. All right, not the nitty grifty, but as you see here, the suggestion to the context being Nick Rekieta has wished a DEATHE upon, I'm sorry, there's no E there, death, upon a celebrated potential cancer diagnosis of one of his attractors, which is true, by the way. I just want to point this out. That is actually a truth that has not been, cannot be disputed, right? Whereas with the lolicon thing, right, people will be divided on that and say, oh yes, this is true, absolute truth, no, this is absolutely false, or whatever. This more is a definitive claim because of there's literal footage, because Rekieta is so smart that he decides to go on live streams and actually do this shit. Fun fact, the first part of this, which is Death Upon, people were still cool with him. People in LawTube were still okay with him because Nick didn't just do this once, he did this multiple times. All right, so Yellow Flash, LawTube, Kiwi Farmers, they were all still cool with him when he was doing this. Josh Moon, they were all still good with him. So again, Rekieta wishing death upon people and lying about them was nothing new to his character. He did it all the time. And again, like I said, it's just because everybody could make a good penny off of Nick Rekieta's clout and money at the time. But as soon as he kept being erratic and just shooting himself in the foot and he lost his worth on the internet, well, you can't let him get away with it, because now the only way you can make a dime off of Nick's name is by saying, he sucks, building, either your paycheck off of him, like whatever Kino Casino would do, or any of the LawTubers that still cover him. That's the only way that you make a dime off of Nick now. You don't make a dime by being cool with Nick Rekieta, right? You make a dime by essentially not archiving. You make a dime by saying how shit he is and shitting on him. And for Kiwi Farmers, you get recognition and validation for archiving his bullshit. Same thing with clip channels as well. Again, very nice of you guys to do it for the content creators. I appreciate that. But let's be real. Why waste your time doing this shit? What is the real fucking reason? External validation. That's literally all it is. What? Oh, I'm a righteous warrior. I'm going to archive this for the cause. What's the cause, pal? Seriously. Come on, just be real here. All right. Okay. But anyway, we got Rekieta here. Yes, this is actually an objective fact, and they link two people that I'm assuming have the clips in hand to provide this. Now, Grifty says you all are fucking petty. Now, I guess this could be, because this, maybe, I guess to an extent, but still, who cares? Rekieta did it, right? So here's Potentially Criminal. Used to be good friends with Nick until Nick spurred out for whatever reason, But yeah, I'm not sure if he was in deep Legal Mindset to where Rekieta was just making a bunch of defamatory claims about somebody and he just giggled in the background. Yeah, I'm not sure if LawTube Sean ever did that. From what I saw, LawTube Sean came very late, but yeah, not knowing much. But he did say he brought this on himself, which is a true statement. He did in multiple ways, not only just like in the general sense, but just for these particular things. Yes, Nick is literally doing this like in public on a live, not even on a tweet. Like he's going live and he's doing this. Right? The second part he actually did recently, to where I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you doing it? Not even from the good boy moral perspective, just from like a perception perspective, if you will. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, do you live to just give these people free money now? Is that your repentance? You're going to make sure the Kino Casino can afford their rent. You're going to make sure I can get my G Fuel fund, and you're going to make sure Sean can, I don't know, buy sandwiches or Stoney's bar or whatever. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Is that your goal on the internet now, Nick? Just fucking get out, leave. Like, save whatever dignity you have left, unless this is what you want. All right. The Grifty responds, okay, and I think the response is petty. I don't realize randos on the internet was supposed to judge morality. My God, tell me he's doing. I think Sean's about to say this. You live in a societal, homie. We judge each other. Also, spread the only God can judge me. You just called people petty. So again, it's like, yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Like I've said this before. You know, life is just different sinners criticizing other sinners for sinning differently. You know, that's literally all it is. Nobody is perfect. Everybody has sinned in different degrees, right? Everybody is going to judge everybody, right? Some people aren't warranted, and some people are, and they get dismissed. Like, for example, Hassan Piker, generally hated, generally just in general, horrible person, can make a right point, and people will disregard that point just because he's Hassan Piker, all right? The rules of the internet really are, if you're likable and you have people on your side, that's what becomes truth. It's not actual definitive truth, absolute truth. It's whether or not the majority of the interwebs likes you. That's literally the only thing. That's why powers bring number. Because all you need is a bunch of people saying you're right. This is why Nick got away with this shit for so long. All you need is a bunch of people telling you you're right in order for you to be quote unquote right. All right? That's literally all it is. Grifty, in your 40 years of living, have you not been able to come up to that conclusion? That is so fucking sad. The closest one here to come up to that is Criminal over here, potentially Criminal over here, who made this good response. Grifty then says, I said the action was petty. Just think it's petty when everyone makes jokes about you. Overweight jokes. You said no judging. You made the statement, not me. Now, Sean is hyperfixating on the thing, you know, to the one point that Grifty made. That's a good strategy by Sean. Hyperfixate on the one thing. Stop talking to Grifty like he's a human being. Hyperfixate on his points to get the got you. Good on Sean. Sean, you're not dumb. There's absolute difference between saying an action is petty and presuming that someone deserves it. The idea you think those are the same shows how stunted your reasoning is. Now, Sean is trying to act like he's smarter than this person, so now establishing dominance, which is good because, number one, he probably is smarter than Grifty, so this is an objectively true statement. Get over your ODD and grow up. All right, so this is the post where Sean establishes dominance, which, you know, is, I guess, you know, Grifty. This is what separates the YouTubers from the NPCs over here. Grifty has no idea what he's doing. He's just burying his hole deeper. I don't think they're the same. That's what I said. It's all petty, according to you. You need to grow up, son. So again, Sean hyperfixating on one thing. Again, not talking to Grifty like he's a human being anymore. Just to get the got you. Good job on Sean. Sucksip say you're acting like a 5-year-old. I mean, to be fair, Sean, you're going, like, thanks for the content, but you are going back and forth with two NPCs for literally no reason. All right, you and Grifty are 2/5 of the way making a curling team. Go find some more sweepers. It's like, all right, Sean, like you kind of proved the Sims point right here. It's like you're going back and forth with a bunch of NPCs. Like, thank you for the content, but like, Sean, what the fuck are you doing? Okay, the funny part is y'all think I condone all the shit that's happened. This is some shit that the farmers should be doing, right? Like, you're fighting with NPCs, the farmers should be doing that, not the person of high status in this interaction, right? There's a difference between thinking something is good versus thinking it shouldn't be illegal. Or is anyone else fucking business? Grifty, you're just wasting your fucking time. You've already kind of killed your points over here. You killed whatever potential aura of seriousness you would have had in this interaction. But, you know, he said, and acting like there's any of us that are perfect. Only Christ was perfect. Again, now leaning into some weird religious mumbo jumbo. Sean is about to, like you do condone and doing the classic say less. So again, Sean beating him again. You know, this is a pretty one-sided fight at this. So it's pretty sad. Grifty is still going. When have I ever said it was good? I've said it was blah, 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 blah. Okay, so finally, now we either have a Kiwi farmer coming in here, or maybe Sean's ult, I don't know, but then they take over, and this is pretty much how it should have been. The random NPCs of the world should be the ones fighting the other random NPCs of the world. But I think in general, Sean provided good content. He also did a couple of good responses there, even if he got lawyery towards the middle, I'm sorry. But it's still enough to prove the point. And Grifty's a fucking idiot. When it comes to Rekieta, again, I've even said it, like, if you guys want to lie about him, go for it at this point. It doesn't really, I'm not going to stand up and be like, oh my god, this is morally wrong. No, it's morally right at this point. I mean, it would have been morally right to do at the point, at the height of Nick Rekieta's career. But again, all of you were pussy whipped by that Rekieta clout, that Rekieta dime, right? And you didn't choose to do it at the time. Right? Because it wasn't beneficial for you. Just like it was not beneficial for Nick Diorio to come out against Destiny until everything got revealed. Right? And I'm sure there's going to be some weird morally justice reason that you guys are going to try to deflect to for why you didn't do what you did. But let's be real, Diorio has more of a fake morally righteous reason to not expose Destiny than you guys had for not exposing Nick Rekieta, who was casually wishing death on people on a regular on his streams, and crossing the line between what a, normal lawyer would do with what a fucking Neanderthal alcoholic drug addict would do on a regular. Oh boy. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, send a like and join us on Saturday's live stream where we cover this and so much more. Until next time, my centers, I hope you have a great day, and remember, don't be a rebarred.